right, man, we are back. It's time for the good stuff, man. We go to the movies, man, and this is we decided this week to do Megan, that's currently available for purchase on streaming. You can't. It's not like on Netflix
Mm,
stuff like that.
yeah.
So what do we have here, man? We have a horror sci-fi thriller. A robotic engineer at a toy company builds a lifelike doll that begins to take on a life of its own. That's the synopsis there, not too telling who's in this film. Tell me about
Okay. So in this film, we have Allison Williams,
it. Yes.
uh, Violet McGraw,
Yeah. Sad kid.
Ronnie Ronnie Chang,
Who's normally hilarious.
Amy. Yes, usually very funny. Still kind of funny in this.
Uh-huh.
Amy Donald, Brian Jordan Alvarez, Jen Van Epps,
Yeah.
Lori Dungy, Stephanie Garneau Montagne, and then there's a bunch of there's not very many people in this movie overall.
Yeah, let's
The
hear it
rest
for
of them are
Black
kind of
History. Let's hear it for Jen Van Epps. That's it.
who doesn't even have I can't even click on her in the Wikipedia.
Yeah, she.
Rude.
Oh wow, not prominent, not too much of a prominent actress in this thing. I'll just say right from the beginning, let's give it up for Amy Donald, who played the Megan. Uh,
Yeah, it kind of is very strange, right?
yeah. I mean, but it's kind of dope what she did, So she was very, as far as the body of work, the
Sure, being
physicalities and
creepy.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she did a good job.
And I'm sure there's some stuff is. Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously there's some stuff that's not, but yes.
Yeah, like running on all fours and stuff like that. It'd be funny if she did do it. Kids could do a lot though. You never a kid is
Yeah,
surprised.
kids can do a lot. Wouldn't be surprised if she did run on all fours, but obviously there's some things where they actually do use
Yeah.
a robot of some kind.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sure, but yeah.
It's time for one word. What you got? I got my board way too far, Tiff. I got to run over to the board.
I'm gonna say on ease. On ease. That's what I'm gonna say. On
Okay.
easy
Okay.
to make it a little easier.
Okay. My one word it will be underwhelming. I was.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that that's the word that you used, because unfortunately sometimes when you see film, like when you wait a little while, even though I try to remain
Yeah.
away from what people think about a movie until I see it, just so I can present what I believe is my honest first opinion.
Yeah.
And it does sometimes my opinion changes even without
Yeah.
but I don't like to have any thoughts in there.
Yeah.
But I think people are really liking this movie, and I was like, it's okay.
It was a very underwhelming. It's
okay.
I don't know, man. You saw the trailer, you saw the film, so let's just say that.
Yeah, I think my problem with this film would be, so we're starting off toy company. I did enjoy the toy commercial. I thought that was really fun and well
spoilers.
done.
Spoilers. But
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
Burp, burp, burp. The movie opens with a toy commercial for an animatronic kind of interactive toy, a Furby-esque
yeah.
toy.
I didn't like the toy either, Tiff. Did you like the toy? I was like,
I here's the thing. I looking at it, I'm like, I don't care for it. I didn't really like Furbies anyway, but they were always scary to me. I was afraid they'd start talking to me when I didn't want them to.
Who the hell are you talking to?
So in some ways, this would be an excellent movie to try to scare me. But I also have a trouble. I know that there's things that kids enjoy now that when I see them, I'm like, I don't think I would have liked that as a kid. But I also understand that I no longer understand what a child might like.
Oh, of course not.
So that might be exactly what a kid would want today.
Yeah, I played with Star Wars action figures, G.I. Joe, and Transformers. Transformers are still around, but I couldn't imagine. Kids don't really do imagination no more. You know what I'm saying? They're presented with every goddamn thing, and whatever,
Yeah, I guess I don't know, but
yeah.
It was and then there's kind of the humor of it farting and pooping, which I don't mind a good fart or poop joke. I just didn't think that these were good fart or poop jokes. Yeah. As a connoisseur of the fart and poop joke, I thought that these were not to my standards. So
yeah, so this girl is in the car with her parents, and then they get massacred. And
yeah,
I thought they were gonna I'm glad they didn't make it seem like it was the little girl's fault when she got out of the strap, and I was like, are they about to be distracted? And she's like,
Yeah, I
it's my
did.
fault,
I
you
did
know?
think that they were going to make it her more traumatized by the fact that maybe she blamed herself, which I'm sure there's even without that there would have been
Well,
because there's just like a lot of self blame and guilt.
yeah,
But
that's true. But they were sitting on the road, so it wasn't her fault. He just couldn't see, and I
no,
was like, oh, he's they're
you
doomed.
you're
So
gonna have to pull off.
yeah, so then we get introduced to this auntie who's like making this doll, and she's in trouble because they're just not producing, and the boss
Hmm.
comes and I like this guy. He's on the Daily Show. David, played by what is it, Ronnie
Yeah,
Ching. He's
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 very
pretty
he's
funny.
very funny.
Yeah, yeah, he
He's
is.
even funny. I think that he is maybe one of the best parts of this movie. I think he plays the part really
He
well,
was
but also with
believable.
like yeah, he
Yeah,
plays the kind of like a believable asshole CEO
yeah.
kind of person. I mean, and he wasn't even the top CEO. He wasn't the CEO, I guess, or the owner or whatever, but he was like
He might
top
have been the
position
president or
person.
something like that, or
Yeah,
yeah. He
and just
definitely had
but
shareholders.
also he does a really good job of like being kind of a ham, but also making you think, oh yeah, that's like a real person
Yeah.
right there.
So we got this team. They're secretly working on this thing. The robot blows
They're
up.
stealing money from the company.
100 grand.
They said 100 grand, but there's just no way.
Yeah.
There's just no way that that's how much they've stolen. It had to be way more than that.
Yeah. So this style is it's going to be advanced and it doesn't work out. So let's talk about something, Tiff. The little girl
Yes.
comes, and all I could think of is what a piece of shit this auntie was. She was so disengaged from this little girl who was your sister's kid, and you just like
Yeah.
it was all about her. I got deadlines. I was like, God, why don't you just give them to the damn grandparents because they wanted to
That
actually
that was
be with her.
weird.
Yeah, I was like, ugh, I hated her. I did not like this auntie. She never won me
Well,
over. I didn't like her. I didn't like her. I didn't like her. And all she did was build a pseudo babysitter so she don't have to deal with the girl. That's
well,
what I
that's part of the plot. I mean, like, I don't think you're necessarily supposed to like her, and I also don't think, like, and obviously she did. Like, there's even the accusation in the movie that they were like, "Are you building a toy or are you building a parental replacement?"
Yeah, well, that you got
Um,
that, and then you got the neighbor next door who's supposed to be. I didn't think the director did a good job. She was supposed to be like a Karen, but I like the neighbor. I didn't think it was nothing wrong with the neighbor with the dog. She's like, "Hey, fix your fence. Your fence is jacked up."
yes, fix the fence. Uh, also I feel like it was a strange situation because like there was an implication that this woman was extraordinarily maybe like poor or something.
Who, the neighbor?
um yeah, but they're living in this very expensive and this is not important to the film or anything like that, but
I
like
didn't get
they
that.
also just oh maybe she was like they did say she was like a hoarder too. That was mentioned
Yeah, but she seemed
in the
very
film.
reasonable to me, especially with the dog and the way she was. She wasn't being a jerk when she came home, and was talking to her. But I think they wanted you to not like her, and I didn't have any
Right, they
like
wanted you to
her.
give an out
Yeah,
on the death, which is a main part of my problem with this movie is that I know that it is supposed to be a ridiculous film. I think that the intent there is supposed to harken back to these kind of like
yeah.
uh, very, in some ways, cheesy movies where robots come to life um, and that's inherently creepy to me. Like you have a built-in kind of fear
I don't
of
have
the
no
like
fear of a robot. Like,
I'm afraid of robots.
yeah,
Not like robots, but like I said, like I don't remember when all the Alexas were laughing in people's houses without them being asked to,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it was because they were always listening and just like weird shit like that. And then also like I did think that this movie did a good job of like slowly building the kind of like I think honestly think one of the creepiest moments in this movie is when she's making the face at the beginning and they're confused as to why she's making the
That
face.
was creepy when she was sitting on the kids' table, the kids' toy table. With the bully,
Yeah.
the bully kid who you supposed to like. She's supposed to massacre this kid, and it was supposed to be like justified because he was an asshole. I was like, this is bullshit. But yeah, when she was making those faces, like she was pissed, and she, I was like, oh god, and that was creepy, and the way she would just
Yeah.
watch the little girl, but. Then you were thinking, I was thinking that, well, she's watching her, she's building data, she's,
Hmm.
she's, sucking it all in. And then, she was doing some of the stuff that she wasn't supposed to do. And, the lady was like, turn off. And she was like, I'm not turning it off, and it was just like, I don't know, man. I never felt Like I didn't give a shit about anybody really in this
Well,
film
I'm
except for the little
I'm
girl.
saying that it's built in. The fear is like it's kind of natural what I'm saying, and then I feel like this movie doesn't necessarily deliver on the promise that it's making. And by that, what I'm saying is it's trying to be a goofy movie about, in some ways, a goofy horror film
Yeah,
about fear of technology and also like dependence on technology, and not only seeing all of these comments and stuff. I can see them in the film. There's nothing wrong with those commentaries. I think they're kind of well made and within this movie, I guess. But my problem with it is that they're saying, "Hey, we're goofy," but at the same time, they're not going far enough with how goofy it is. Like, I think they pull back a lot on like kind of the kills that happen in this movie, which I think are very necessary in the kind of movie that you would be trying to make if that was your intent. Like, they hardly ever show anything, which was this
yeah.
PG-13. That's kind of what it felt
That was
like.
weird. And like, when she was hunting down the people at the company, I thought that's when it was gonna get really wild. You know what I'm saying? And it never,
Yeah,
it
yeah. I
never
thought we were
did. It
going to
was like,
build.
what's this is nothing. Nothing's
Yeah,
happening. Then we was back in the car going home. And I'm like, wait a minute. That was it. That was it for the big stalker moments. It just didn't deliver at all.
they spend a lot of time in this movie, I think, relying on the fact that the doll is creepy. Because we spend a lot of like the first half of this
Yep.
movie, or more than the first half of this movie, just building exposition about how the kid is sad,
Yep.
which we already established. We
Yeah.
don't we don't need to do any more of
And shout
that.
out to the sad
As far
kid.
as like,
She did a good job playing a sad kid. She
yeah,
really did. She really did.
I think that the acting in this movie is great. I don't see a problem with that at all. I'm just so like they have, but there's just so much of that before she even starts to be really creepy,
Yeah.
before we even start to like recognize the fact that like that's, and I understand you could be making a movie about, it's also a movie about family, it's also a movie about other things.
Yeah.
I get
You know
that.
what though?
But you're marketing it to me, you're showing it to me as this, and it's not that.
And
It's
and
not,
again,
it is not the scary movie it should
it
be.
never paid off. The build never paid off. I thought they did the hacker slash stalking, climax so fast, and you knew from the beginning that the robot, they did such a bad job with the foreshadowing with the robot. You knew the robot was going to save the day, and it was just like, wow, and you know we knew that was going to happen, and then it was over, and I'm like, it sucked.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, it's kind of like them saying to you, hey, I have this ridiculous thing, do you want to see it? And I'm like, yeah, I want to see your ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
And then they spend 75 minutes showing you a not ridiculous thing. They spend 75 minutes of you showing you a pretty average thing about a regular type situation,
Yeah.
with albeit a robot
Yeah.
that happens to be there. And then at the end, they kind of leave, and maybe that's what they're wanting to do, is to dissatisfy me, but they kind of make you, yes, like you said, believe that they are going to arrive at this big gala,
Yeah.
and that everyone's just going to be punished for their consumption of technology or for being around the robot. I got so excited. And there was parts of this movie that I really enjoyed. I wouldn't even have minded the buildup if there would have been the payoff that it seemed to promise, which is like when she comes out of the technology chamber,
Yeah.
and she grabs the paper cutter and she kills those two guys. I was like, this is the beginning of the bizarre payoff
Yeah.
that
That's what
we
you
are about to
thought.
receive.
Right.
Yeah, and then you're like it deads itself in the water
It's over.
and brings me right back to what they want me to believe is an emotional film, and it is. It's got like emotion in it. We can't deny it, but that feels like more like a misdirect for what I would like, not what I would like, but like what they tried to make. The movie can't be those two things, or it can be, but it would have to be a different movie. That you both want me to think that this is a badass killing robot,
I'm gonna tell you something.
and also,
I'm gonna tell you where
Okay.
where the big mistake came from. So in the trailer,
Yeah.
they do a great scene, right? Where the little girl is in the hallway in that office, and then she starts doing that little goofy dance, and it's like,
Yeah.
what the shit, So I'm thinking it's on and popping, it's on, and they did that, and you were used to it because you saw it already. But it was like more of that. This thing should have been stalking people and doing little kid stuff right before she did it. It could have
Yeah.
a calling card or something. But they didn't do it. They only did that one thing and they walked away from it. And it was just like, what the hell is this? This is not this. No, there was no payoff in this damn movie. I was so
I
underwhelmed.
agree.
Yeah.
And I was really, and this is this is gonna mark me as a horrible person, but I'm gonna say it, but not because of my own personal opinions, but like you're showing me this movie, you're saying it's scary, you're saying this doll has no emotions, you're saying whatever. You very meagerly make us feel anything about her lab assistants that she has.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's true.
you very, but then at the end,
Yeah.
you make me be sure to see that they survived.
They survived,
Which
people, but I
is
was like,
which you could have just done. You could have like implied the same thing by never showing it to me, and I could have assumed whatever about it because
yep.
it was. It made it feel like Disney made a horror film.
Yep. I do not recommend Tiflbot. I think this one can be skipped. I mean, I like the physical movements that they worked out for the
Yeah.
doll. I thought that was really good. They put a lot of work into this little young lady to behave the way she did, and
Yes.
nothing up. The hard work of this movie never paid off. I don't know if
People are acting well. The sets look good.
it did look really good.
The stuff
It
the
did.
stuff is there.
Yep.
It's like there, and I think maybe what's most disappointing about it is that it just seemed to miss the mark that it was trying to make
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
Not even like what I would want out of it, but that it was trying to do something and then it didn't even achieve it.
Yeah, even stuff like with the dog, it was so heavy-handed that she was gonna murder the dog, and even the way that turned out, it was just kind of brushed over. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, okay, go move, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And it was like, where are y'all rushing us to? Yeah, we rushing to nowhere, to the end of the movie. So, whatever.
It could have been like I would have appreciated a slow creep,
Yeah,
a slow increase in tension and creepiness.
yeah,
And that led to a kind of dead-eyed robot bloodbath, and then a kind of return to a wish for grace when she goes home.
yeah,
Because what she really wants to be with her person.
yeah.
Like that could have been the sentimentality and the feelings that we needed, but instead they were like humans are good, robots are bad, is maybe what they're saying.
Yeah, and
don't look at your smartphone too much, I guess.
Yeah. My last thing I'll say about it is, they messed up big time because they showed, the doll getting damaged, right? She was reaching and she got damaged, and that's we're supposed to assume that that's why she's went on this rampage. However, you should have left that out because at the beginning, the algorithm had a problem. It was looking at, with that creepy face in the beginning, and it would have just been cool if it would have just went that direction. But they didn't even touch on why she went bad all that much at all, whether it was an algorithm or it was her getting damaged or what, and so it just left you just guessing, and not in a good way. Not, ooh, it was like,
not in like, oh, intriguing.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you trying to do here, sir?
That's how I felt. Yeah. Enough of that movie. I do not recommend.
Enough.
What about you? You do not recommend?
I don't recommend if you are looking for like the ridiculous kind of horror with like a kind of a bloody payoff. If you're looking for a movie that sometimes makes you go, sure, that's kind of funny about technology, then yeah sure.
Very underwhelming. Again, my one word. Anyway, man, that's it, man. We came to do the damn thing. We got it done, man. So we're kicking off the Black History Month, and I think we might do it a little different this year. I kind of like integrating the games and stuff like that, and doing our thing. So, man, I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my wonderful co-host, Miss Tiflbot. Say goodbye to the lovely people, Tiff.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Indeed, and until next week, we will be on Patrol.
Did you get photos of us?
I didn't. Thank you. Let me see here. Let me see. I'm just going to keep it simple. I kind of like that look I just gave. That's a good look. Oh, thanks for reminding me of that, because it actually, I'm starting to see that the ones that has photos of us is actually those videos do better. Ain't that something? That's my photo. And let me see. Oh shit! Now this is odd. So the internet connection with you right now is god awful.
Ooh.
but it's gonna come. It's gonna look. It's even telling me actual recording is higher quality. So what the fuck?
You better take a picture of me, or I'm gonna get sick of doing this shit.
Oh yeah. Damn it! I'm about to have you take a picture of yourself. It's like it looks really bad from what I'm looking at right now. Let me see if it's gonna clear up. Well, you can relax. It's looking real bad. I don't understand.
You can relax, calm your ass down.
It looks like a bad television set. That's what it looks like. Shit, motherfucker. And damn, thirsty and shit. Mm.
I don't know how to take a picture of myself.
I was just about to say, can you take a picture of yourself with a good camera? Oh, you can do is all I do is do a screenshot. I put the stuff over the
What's
top.
this? How do you make a screenshot?
You know, oh, I don't know how to do it on a regular computer like yours. I only know
Hold
how to
on.
do it on a Macintosh.
McIntyre. Screen
Oh, there you go.
shot.